Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I like my old hat from, I don't remember when it's from. Anyhow, we're back. This is the Svartpilen or Svartpilen or however you want to say it. I'm Swedish, but I don't speak fluent Swedish, so I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. There's a million variations of it, but I think I'm going to do something different based on your guys' feedback in the comment section. You said you like it when I narrate through the episodes and don't do time lapse as much. So I'm going to make an attempt to do that as much as I can. Some of this stuff is not very exciting, but this is going to be the first episode of modifications I'm making to the bike. To hopefully improve the safety and the performance of the bicycle, or the motorcycle I should say. I have something that arrived and it made me chuckle a bit, so I'm going to share it with you. I got really good reviews on Amazon. Let me show you what I got. So these Fenrir, however you want to say it, motorcycle mirrors got really good reviews on Amazon. I also got the right hand thread and left hand thread mirror plugs for the stock mirror locations. But this really made me laugh. I'm going to read it to you. It'll be like a little children's book. We were born for freedom. Hey, I'm liking that so far. I don't know if you guys like it, but I like it. When we open it up, little unboxing here. We got a nice case. Everything's neatly packaged in the box. Really good reviews on these mirrors, by the way, on Amazon. And I'm just going to read to you the opening page because it made me laugh. Extraordinary begins with the ordinary. Fenrir was born for freedom. Every inch is eager to take risks. Let every ride be filled with passion. Even you are alone. It is still the direction of heart. There is always a legend waiting for you. Now, as you can see, I did not print this off or make this up. This came with the mirrors, so whatever. Anyhow, I guess we're going to start by going through the instructions here. And it looks like it kind of goes over the bar ends. I think this is probably the installation method 4 is the one we're going to use for this. But yeah, I guess we'll get started. So I guess we'll start with getting these stock mirrors off. And there is a rubber boot that comes up, and then it looks like there's a lock nut and the actual mirror shaft that needs to be undone. And by looking at that, I'm gonna guess that it's either a 17 or a 19 or a combination of both. 17 was right. It looks like double 17. So one of these is left hand thread and the other one is right hand thread, if I'm thinking about it correctly. Looks like we found the normal thread, right hand thread. Get that one off of there. Those are some long threads. This one will be opposite, so if you try to tighten it, it should come loose, in theory. And it does. Don't ask me how I knew that. Okay, now since we're getting rid of those mirrors, we've got these open plug holes that they will rust. I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Let's get some Loctite though and an Allen wrench. Blu-ray's excited, you can hear him in the background. Let's figure out what goes where here. This should be the normal one. Okay, so that's the normal one. And and that's the AB normal one. Let's put a little dab of blue Loctite on there. You don't want to put red on these, you will regret that. And these are nice little cover-up screws, I guess you could call them. They're black. I will leave a link in the description for all this stuff. Okay, that part's done. Let's move on to the mirrors. So we'll take all these parts and pieces out here. It's like there's some plastic adapter rings of some sort. Okay, that's all the pieces. Looks like these go on here like this. Yep. Once again, I'm going to add some Loctite because I hate it when things fall off from vibration. There's no collar on this to hold on to the actual mirror part. So you definitely want to use some Loctite. Those are on there. Let's take the bar ends off and see what we're up against here. So the inside of this handlebar might be threaded, and it might have this really long black bolt that goes in here. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I don't think that's the right way to do it. Okay, that's one side. It looks like there's a variety of ways to install these. However, I'm trying to use the way that I think is going to work best. So there's 3 plastic rings in here. There's a medium thickness, heavy thickness and a pretty thin one, and I am using the medium one. I'm just test fitting these now, and if this works, I'm going to Loctite these bar end bolts into place. I want to make sure it doesn't lock up the throttle or anything like that before I get too carried away. That seems to work okay. Getting these things adjusted is going to be the challenge. It looks like if you point these straight down, well, maybe more like that. It looks like they'll work pretty good if you do it like that. You're looking right under your arm to look in the mirror when you set it up like that. Alternatively, you could flip this and have them up here, and you might have a better view. It's hard to decide if I should put them up top or if I should leave them on the bottom. I'm going to switch them around to the top and see if it's better. I think having them above is the way to go. Yeah, then you're not looking down through your arm. You can just glance over and look through the mirror. I think that's going to be the bee's knees, so to speak. That should work. All right, guys, we got these bar end mirrors in. They have a nice blue tint to them, and they're really clear and crisp. The one thing I will say is on the inside of these bars, stock, there is a knurled nut that they threaded a bolt into the knurled nut, and then they hammered it into the end of the handlebar there. So if you do over tighten these, you'll pull it out. You can remedy that by taking one of the bolts out of the kit, threading it in, and tapping it back in with a hammer, and put some blue Loctite around the outside of it, or some red Loctite, or whatever you want. JB Weld, doesn't matter. That'll get those back in there. And the easiest way I figured out to adjust these is to sit on your bike, have these perfectly level with the frame, and then just rotate the arm into the position where you can see half decent, the way you want to see through your mirrors there, and then tighten the arms down. That way when you get off the bike and you look at it, they're both symmetrical with each other. So it's an easy way to make an adjustment on these. They look nice. The quality seems really good on them. But like I said, I won't know until we take these things out on the road how good they are. It doesn't bind up the throttle. There's no problem there. They have little spacers built into the bar ends that take up that gap, so that if you do have a throttle on one side or the other, it's not going to bind up on it. So yeah, pretty easy modification. First modifications for the Svartpilen. Just do a little walk around here. You can see the difference it made. The stock mirrors just look hokey. They don't line up. These would definitely look better below the bar, but I feel it's like a safety issue for me because that's where my hands are at, and I have to move my hands up to look under them. This way I can just glance and see what's going on behind me. These are the parts that I ended up not using. You've got a couple of expansion adapters and a bunch of these rings. I used the medium sized ones, and then of course the stock bar ends, and the rest of the hardware here that I didn't use. So and Willow's home. Willow has arrived home. What do you think of the bar end mirrors, Willow?
Big improvement.
Big improvement?
Big improvement, yeah. They're going to be so much safer. Hopefully you can get them dialed in to be able to see them.
I already adjusted them and they seem to work just fine. So we'll figure out more when we're on the road. Other than that, that's Willow's stamp of approval. you're going to want to stay tuned. The Svartpilen series is going to get a bunch of parts thrown at it. I put it in order, but as you guys know, there is a high demand and low supply right now, so it's going to take a while to get some of these parts. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I bought a whole bunch of the stuff that you can't get in the United States, and it was kind of expensive, but at the same time I wanted to do something unique to the bike and make it my own, basically. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you later. Bye-bye.